Member of Parliament Sam Lyomoki yesterday announced the creation of a third political force, which he says will be used to dislodge President Museveni in 2021. Does he have the political gravitas, and can his message gain traction amongst the electorate? Or is he a run-of-the-mill politician who lacks a political constituency? On Talk of the Nation tonight is Dr. Sam Lyomoki. Welcome to the program, Doctor.
Yes, thank you very much.
Talk to us more about your intentions to run for president.
Yeah, first of all, I made public pronouncement relating to the burden upon my heart to take over the leadership of this country in terms of the office of the president, because the office of the president means a lot to the country in terms of guidance, in terms of taking over the overall leadership of the country. Now, given the situation in the country, in terms of the functionality of the government, the systems, in terms of the potential that we have as a nation, we need a new leader of leadership that can be able to take advantage of our situation comparatively to lead it forward. So I have taken a personal decision to participate in the process of taking Uganda to a new level. Of course, I saw you when you were introducing, you are saying that Dr. Sam Lyomoki has taken a decision to, is it the the president from 7? You know, the point is I'm going to stand for president. We are even not sure that President Museveni will stand, because we have 3-4 years to come. What I've only done is to announce my intention in terms of allowing, because I'm still a member of Parliament for workers, so allowing a sort of like a winding up my work, and also in terms of succession, but also in terms of preparation, because you don't just wake up and just when the election has come and then you start talking of standing. You must be able to prepare in terms of the program. And that's why in the next few days I will be able to give the 5-point strategic program.
And I actually want to ask you those aspects. I want to ask you those that you want to bring on the table.
That's right, yes.
But I'm sorry to say this as well, because I'm sure you've already had this. Many think that this is a well-scripted comic act, and they're not taking it very seriously.
No, I don't need to recognize anyone who dismisses. We have many people. You saw, for instance, the current president of the U.S. was dismissed as nothing. Even the current president of Uganda in 1980, he was dismissed as a one who had nothing. So the point here is not about dismiss, so it's about my internal capacity as a leader and the commitment to take this country to new level. So in terms of those who are discussing it, giving it in that type of direction, trying to say or to dismiss, I mean, that's why I've not even responded to them. And actually for me they don't matter, because they don't know what I am.
What are you?
They don't know. I have the capacity in terms of, first of all, I've been a leader in this country for the last over 20 years. Leading from grassroots to higher levels as a workers' member of Parliament. And I have also been studying the situation in the country, been able to get engaged in the various analysis, in various discussions, various mentorship programs. And I really have the potential to take this country ahead. But the most important point here is that I've also been engaged and in touch with the broad masses of the people of Uganda. First of all, the people of Uganda are so disappointed by the current leadership because of the vacuum that has been created. But secondly, Uganda,
but you're part of that party.
Yes, I'm part of the NRM
that is responsible for what you're talking about.
And that's why I'm taking responsibility, because I'm part of the leadership, but I'm not at the top, because the challenge we have right
now
in
the country. Do you need to be at the top to
definitely
influence?
Yeah, because what has happened is that we have degenerated into a leadership that is following. You know, we have two concepts of leadership, and it's important for people to know this. We have the leadership which is transformational, which looks at the people, trying to transform the people in terms of values, in terms of their aspirations and their interests. But we also have a leadership which is transactional, which looks at the people in terms of give and take. You know, let the people give me something. They must give something in order to get something, and that, you know, that's what we find right now.
So will you be standing within the NRM?
Yes, definitely. I'm standing within the NRM.
Have you notified the party already?
No, I don't need to notify them right now because the time has not come. What I've done is to pronounce publicly in the burden that I have and the decision that I've taken, and then working with the team, because I'm now trying to establish a team. Actually, for information, you are saying that some people have sort of dismissed, but many people have contacted me in terms of the support they want to give, in terms of their own sort of like contribution, in terms of the ideas that they want to bring on the table, in terms of the whatever contribution. So
it's easy to say that here, Honourable, but we're in a multi-party dispensation. You do not have at least as far as we know, you don't have a registered political party. You don't have.
No, I'm in NRM. I'm number 50 in the NRM, and we have internal democracy. So what I will do, when the time comes, will be to stand within the NRM. And I'm very sure that I'm going to win, because the current system has been through manipulation, through trying to use this type of transactional type of leadership, where you're just handing people incentives, and then you're doing that, but you're not going to assist them. And everyone knows that right now our systems have failed. You know, we have a very competent and powerful system in terms of the structures we have, the civil service, we have the policies that are on the table, but these policies are basically non-functional, because if you look at, for instance, the budget, you look at the way we relate to the budget, we have the civil service doing the work, but they are not funded in terms of the budget allocation, like in terms of agriculture, in terms of health. So basically, you have very good policies, you have the development agenda, you have all this, but these are the documents that are in limbo. They are there for cosmetic.
How differently are you going to do that?
Let me make this. These points, we have these items or instruments that are cosmetic, that are there for hypnotic purposes, doing nothing. But when it comes to operation, they are not funded. Now, what is being funded are the interests of a certain small clique of people.
So how different do you want to?
Now, the way I want to do it, one, first of all, I will make sure that the systems work.
How?
I will make sure that all our systems, the public service, the health system, the judicial, the parliament and others work. And the one will do it, for instance, in terms of the different systems, in terms of checks and balances, in terms of independence of the systems, I would first of all move an amendment within the Constitution to make sure that members of parliament, ministers are not members of parliament. Because you see, the good that has been happening. There are only
4 people. There are only 4.
For what? Well, right now we have about 50, 60 ministers, and they are members of parliament. So what I want to do is to make sure that the executive is independent from members of parliament. So when you're a member, a minister, you are not a member of parliament. So that you are asked to parliament. So that we allow parliament to function. We allow the executive to function, and we also allow the judicial to function. And then the other thing I will do, I will emphasize certain strategic imperatives for this country in terms of spheres. We have, for instance, agriculture sphere. We have competitive advantage, but it is not funded. The strategies, we don't have. There are certain strategies that we have been guiding government, who have been from parliament and from even the technical, but they are not implemented because of the funding and also in terms of the direction of the leadership. I also make sure that our health system is supported.
Now let's not get into the campaign.
Into the details, yes.
In September, you announced that you attempted to table a motion titled the Museveni Succession, Transition and Immunities Bill, which seeks to offer President Museveni a sort of soft landing.
Yes, and immunities.
As you say, and immunities.
Yes.
Has that since changed?
No. That one has not changed, because I was not allowed to do that because of the manipulation that happened. But definitely, when I take over, that will be part of my manifesto, even in terms of the campaign, because what I want to do is to bring the reconciliation in this country, to allow a time where heads of state or leaders can be able to retire, and no one can be able to pursue them, and they can be able to sort of preside over the country. They can be able to contribute, knowing that they will not be persecuted even after they retire. Because one of the mischiefs, actually the reasons why you have seen this manipulation, there are too many reasons. The NRM claims that our leader still can perform, but also there is also a fear that when the leader goes, he can be persecuted. There are those fears. So what we want to do is to make sure that we create the environment which is conducive for leaders to perform, but at the same time to be able to retire. But at the same time, this does not mean that we shall not bring corruption to an end, because one of the biggest challenges we've had, actually, that would be one of the in terms of my 5-point manifesto, because I'm not actually alone in this. Where corruption is one of the biggest vices, evils that have bedeviled this country and its leadership. They have failed completely, and they don't have even any symbolism, any sort of something that shows that can be able to stop corruption, because they are part of the corruption. They fund it, and actually they even survive on corruption, because when you look at, for instance, the envelopes being going around, all this is because of corruption. Trying to buy people, like right now in Parliament, the way they were buying MPs to vote is corruption. Even when it comes to vote to campaigns about corruption, the president using the money in the Bank of Uganda and the government just to use as his personal interest without even being stopped. So they survive on corruption. The president looking at oil, for instance, when he talks about, he says, my oil, all these type of things. Now, these things must stop. The president of Uganda must be able to stand the stature of leadership, where the president performs through the systems, through the parliament. If you want to support a certain program, then you raise those programs, you come to parliament, and then you defend it through, of course, the technical system.
Of course, some of these people say he has been doing that, and he has the majority in parliament. He has been going through the right channels in parliament, the judiciary.
No. I think that's not possible.
Okay, so just as we wind up, we just have 30 seconds.
Yes.
You're not new to controversy.
Yes.
In 2002, you were an RDC.
No, I've never been RDC. I've been in parliament since 1990. I've been in parliament for over 20 years, consecutively.
Please excuse me there.
Yes.
But in 2002, there were claims that you feigned your own kidnap. And in 2012, you went against your own word during the oil debate.
No, I think that's...
And you went to the floor of parliament and said that God had come back to you, and the ministers that were accused were now innocent.
No. I think I never did that. No, you can put it here. I don't have that clip.
Okay, but
the challenge we have, and I think that's
so why... So the question is really, why should Ugandans trust you when your image has been tainted?
No, I think those are just black and
white. But you don't remember whether the friends...
No, I've never done that. I've never.
The kidnapping?
I've never. Actually, I was kidnapped. No, it was also self-kidnap. For instance, I was kidnapped and found in Nairobi. Yes, I mean, how can I could have gone to Nairobi? So these are, what people are trying to do? People are trying to do things that have happened to me, and then they're trying to sort of taint me. But these are things that definitely can be found out. And I have a track record of performance. I have a track record of honest. If you look at the whole of my work, I've not been involved in corruption. If you look at the type of work that I've done when I've been chair of the health committee, I've been a leader of the workers, I've really been genuine worker leader. You can look at my track record. So for anyone to just pick some few areas and then try to change them around and try, but this is just politics, and definitely they will be able to expire. So let's paint a picture. Will come out, and if given the chance, because you see, this is about people coming up and giving a political agenda, trying to develop a team and performing, and I would do that. So what is important, no one will have the right to stop me from advancing my views, and no one will be, and the team, I have a very strong team behind me. So I will do this, and whoever will come up with those type of challenges. For instance, the leaders like representing our president. When he was in the bush, they used a lot of allegations, but he's a president. Okay. So all these are things that are in the political situation where people will come up with allegations, they will do all this. But what I want to assure you is that I'm committed, and if given a chance, I'll be able to perform as a very good leader in this country. So can you just confirm for us that you'll be on the ballot in 2021? Definitely, that is for sure. You'll be on the ballot? That's very sure. Let's just paint a picture, hypothetically. With what percentage do you think you'll win the election? No, definitely I will win. I might win with over 70%. 70%? Even President Museveni has not got that 70% in the recent past? When he came first, he was getting about 80%. Okay. So I'm very sure about this, and what Uganda should be able to do is to give me a benefit of that. But where's your stronghold? Where's your... No, I've been a national leader. I have a strong... Only workers? In the whole country, and grassroots workers in the whole country. But at the same time, I'm also a leader. In fact, in this country, there has never been a leader who has emerged. Look at all these presidents we've had, who started from the foundation that I have, who already has a national following. So I really have a comparative advantage over all these leaders who have led this country, and I'm very sure, and also if you look at my record, there is no person who has come. I've been in Parliament for the last 24 years, 20 years, consecutively, and we have never had such a person in this country. So really, the people of Uganda should be happy and be blessed that we have someone of my stature coming up to have a slot of this in this type of situation.
All right, Dr. Sam Lyomoki there, we wish you the best, and we hope we shall hold you by your word in 2021 or 2023 if anything changes.
Depending on the situation.
Thank you so much. That was Dr. Sam Lyomoki, and that is Talk of the Nation.